Hey guys, welcome back. We're going into game two between Rich Gang and Downfall. And GL wasn't game one just so quick.
Yeah, it was a bit of a flash in the pan. It's just a bit of a 8 minutes on Braxis was usually what you expect for that map, and we essentially got what we expected, just not really the result that we were expecting. We were not really looking at Downfall to be this big dominant team, but from what we've been seeing so far, we're going to have to readjust some of our thinking about the team. Sure, Rich Gang are playing with an emergency sub, but still, Downfall just played with so much confidence, so much aggression that it was very refreshing to see from them.
Yeah, it definitely was. Barax's holdout is always a fast-paced map, but to see it finished in not under 10 minutes, GL, under 9 minutes was just very surprising. But going into our next game, we do have it is being played on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Again, this is another map that we've seen Downfall play very well on. They did beat Aztecs on it on Tuesday night. Again, 16-minute game as well, GL. So I don't think Downfall know how to do a 20-minute game. Maybe that's the trick to beating them is late game insurance. Let's get there.
Well, that is kind of what I mentioned before we went to a quick break, is that we saw in the preseason, once they started to get to those late game situations, they did tend to fall apart from time to time, and that's where they got a lot of their most notorious losses, was when it went a little bit too long, and all of a sudden a single mistake is where you really get punished by it. But we haven't really seen them get pushed to that length just yet. We'll have to wait and see as we go through the season whether or not that is going to be a problem for them. But so far, if you can consistently keep the games under 15 minutes and keep on winning with that in mind, that's a pretty good strategy to work with.
How good is that? I wish I could say the phrase like that. It's like, oh man, how can we win this game? I know. Let's just get good at winning faster. I wish that was a thing that I could do. Wow. Go into I said it is on Tomb of the Spider Queen, if I have not mentioned that already. And we do. And if you're just tuning in, we've got Downfall one game up in this best of 3 series against Rich Gang.
Yeah, and I think we are ready to get into the draft, and here we go. As you mentioned, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Again, a map where wave clear is going to be prioritized a fair bit. We did see the Gul'dan in the previous game, but did get pressured a fair bit by a Hanzo and a Genji. And it doesn't have a lot of fun when you're standing still and all of a sudden you have these two Shimada brothers just blasting damage in your direction.
No, not indeed. So we might see an early ban out on the side of Rich Gang, removing that option. Hanzo, something we didn't bring up is that Hanzo did go the redemption build last game as well. So high, a lot of sustained damage in that. And we saw he just sat there, just slowly poked out those characters. And when someone was in a bad situation, he just picked them off as well with the level 2 explosive arrow. So
yeah, he was just blasting away at that front line. Katori got punished a hell of a lot on that Anuba arc. Sure, he has that innate spell armor, but when you're just getting continuously auto-attacked by a Hanzo, that really starts to stack up. And once you get dropped low enough, that Genji is going to be in there more often than not to finish up a lot of those low health targets. But into this second draft, Tomb of the Spider Queen, again, we're going to see the Malthael ban, but this time it's going to be earlier than what we saw in the previous draft. But it is going to allow for that Blaze to go through. Very strong pick coming up for the side of Downfall.
That's it. Blaze hasn't been banned out, so they've left it open. Downfall picking it up in their second round of picks. I wonder if we are going to see that pick up again on someone like Hanzo. Maybe Maiev. Again, we've seen Konya is very comfortable on the Maiev players. Oh, sorry, Maiev has been banned. GL, what am I talking about? I'm looking at the wrong things. Konya cannot play the favorite character.
Well, there is still the Genji available. We saw the Genji and the Hanzo picked up by Downfall in the previous game. Those two are still available. They do pick up the Hanzo, so very much wanting to stick with that style of play. And the Ragnos is going to actually be picked up for the side of Downfall. So having that very strong wave clear and that strong solo lane presence, very big pickup for them, especially on this map.
Yeah, it's good to, Ragnaros is a great addition to this map as well. The favored level 10 here we've seen again from Supperfish is normally takes Sulfurous Smash to help out on those turn-in points and to help out more in the team fights. We have seen a Lava Wave creep in, GL. We've seen it creep in, but a preference for Supperfish anyway is Sulfurous Smash. So just seeing like big team fight moments come out from that. Banning phase here. Look, we do Stukov's another big pickup here. We know Shrek loves to play these good Stukov. Yeah. And Eamon FaZe has played an Uberak on this map as well. Great for those objective hand-in points where you can just dive in, block people against corridors.
There, as you mentioned, there are quite a few options still available. They do opt to take away the Genji, who was so pivotal in that last game in executing a lot of those low health targets. And now we have to see what Downfall do in abandoning. They are looking to take away that Greymane. Sure, it didn't have the best of showings in the previous game, but it is still a very strong hero and can output an incredible amount of damage. So wouldn't be too surprised to see it banned away, just not wanting to deal with it whatsoever.
It is also a problem for Hanzo when the Greymane's there, because it's an option to dive onto Hanzo as well on the back line and output a lot of damage. Even the Ragnaros would be concerned about it. Greymane, he's just got great wave. Like Greymane just does so much. He fits into every team composition. He's just good. It's just good. GL.
He just does a bit of it all, and even though he has had those changes. The cocktail quest or the cocktail build was kind of implemented into the base kit and adjusted a little bit. The Wizened Duelist is a little bit better now, and he's still just an all-round powerful pick, but it's going to be banned away finally. So now we get to see where Rich Gang do go with their next two picks. They've only got the HGC and the Malfurion. Strong and solid start to the draft. Very flexible with what you can do in terms of compositions, and we'll just have to wait and see where they go.
Well, there's not much you can really defer from the side of Downfall. They've got Blaze, solid bruiser, solid off tank Kareem and solo laner. Ragnaros feels that situation well. Hanzo has the possibility to do it. One of the great things is that he does got vision on sight, vision on the objective with his arrows. So you've got to decide how we're going to play around that. Do we want to dive on the Hanzo in the back line? They ban Genji, they ban Maev, so they don't want to play that style. Greymane's gone, Malfield's gone. It's like, wow, who else is actually around to do those sort of dives? So you've really got to think here. Gul'dan's obviously always a good pick, and Arthas. So it looks like they're going for just a solid front line. Like, well, we'll just keep our Gul'dan safe and try and force you to make bad engagements.
Yeah, well, the thing is, as good as that is, we kind of saw that playstyle come in the previous game with the Gul'dan and the Arthas and the Malfurion, but it didn't really work out as they were intending. They just got bullied around for the entire map. It was very hard for them to get anything done. The front line was just falling prey to that Hanzo damage, and they just weren't able to get any plays to happen. So, yeah, it is a way to try and deal with the Hanzo, just poke away at him with that Gul'dan damage, but I'm a little bit worried for the side of Rich Gang. They have some good players on their side, but so far it's just not really coming together just yet.
We're just looking at like Gul'dan and Arthas. They're just like that side up. Gul'dan is relying on ETC, Arthas, and Malfurion to really capture someone, like pick them up. Tracer, interesting play here. Tracer's obviously we've seen a lot of Tracer now in all leagues. She can do a lot of damage, get in there to the back line, pressure it. One scary thing about Tracer, however, she's gone in against Alarak and Stukov.
That could be very dangerous. I mean, sure, she has a very good combination with the Malfurion, able to have a lot of healing without putting the support in harm's way. And she can also deal with that Hanzo quite well if she's able to get on top of him. But as you mentioned, the silences coming out of that Alarak and also that Stukov can really, really just pretty much destroy that Tracer in her tracks. So it's going to be very much on Fesh to try and play around a lot of those silences and get that damage in and allow the rest of the team to have the space to make the plays, really.
Well, that's it. If Fesh can get in, like, this is going to be the story right now. You know, it's up to the front line of Arthas and ETC on Rich Gang to trap, to lock down opponents and give time for Fesh to jump onto the back line and just cause havoc. And behind that, Gul'dan drop down those corruptions and get massive value. So, guys, here we are. It is Tomb of the Spider Queen. Your two ANZ representatives are Rich Gang up against Downfall. Downfall 1-up in the series, looking to tie this out at a nice 2-0. Blue side, it's Rich Gang. We've got Tracer being played by Fesh, Gul'dan by Jim Jam, ETC is being played by Juices, Malfurion is being played by Fairy, and Arthas is Deceptive.
And on the red side, it is Downfall. Konya is on the Hanzo, Flaze is on the Alarak, Shrekker's Love forever on his Stukov, Magic Node is on the Blaze, and Superfish is on that Ragnos.
All right, early there. Nice route comes down onto the Alarak. ETC Juices go in. A lot of damage going down. ETC could be in a little bit of trouble here. Just one more thing to connect on will be enough. And it's Alarak that gets the final kill. Magic Gnome also taking a lot of damage, but he's on Blaze. We know that man's health pool is basically infinite as he gets bullied, but he doesn't lose any ground. Mid lane has been won now by Downfall, giving them the advantage in rotation. We see Ragnaros in the bottom lane against Arthas.
Yeah, and we saw in that first fight, a lot of it is going to be coming down to the positions of those silencers. The Alarak doing a lot of work, and they actually, meanwhile, they do manage to catch out the Gul'dan in rotation. As I was saying, the Alarak getting a lot of work done, and also Shrekker's Love on that Stukov. Those lurking arms are positioned so well to make those fights so much more difficult for Rich Gang to maneuver around.
Oh, it's just so is, you know, you've got Alarak here, like you said, moving. You've got Malfurion also caught out of it again because the Alarak can displace. You kind of like, you're juking yourself when you go into these fights, GL, or even just go into these rotations.
Yeah, it's just very awkward positions that Flaze, that Alarak can actually put you into, and is very proficient on that hero, as we see a nice silence, and actually goes in. That's a lot of damage coming out of this lineup so early on, and that's only really the Blaze and the Alarak putting that down so far.
It's just so good. Like, displacement, I think, is just so underrated in Heroes of the Storm. You know, let's call it the X factor, right? ETC actually goes in, gets onto look at that Blaze. I'm talking about the Alarak, sorry.
Oh wow,
my mistake. He does manage to escape though. Oh, he does get taken out by Malfurion Moonfire spam. Who knew that the most powerful character in World of Warcraft would be the Boomkin?
Well, he's kind of playing that. Yeah, he kind of plays like that now. It's much more of a proactive style with the Malfurion. It's a little bit more refreshing to play than the old school, just sit here in the back line, just heal, innovate, throw down some roots here and there. It's nice to have that bit more proactive gameplay with his kit. And yeah, he's a very strong position in the meta right now. And although there was a nice pickup on the side of Rich Gang, they're still a little bit behind, and they need a little bit more to be able to get back into this one.
That's it. Just while Rich Gang are trying to get back into this, trying to figure out what their game plan is, we actually see FaZe rock up Alarak onto Jim Jam. No follow-up, nice entangling roots there by Fairy. Does prevent any follow-up damage. Ooh. However, it's now time for ETC to shine. Fish goes in, up against Blaze. Unfortunately, any other hero may have died for that transaction, but it was not. And interesting take here. Actually, look at the level 1 talent for Tracer. Actually taking Tracer rounds instead of the melee hit for increased ultimate generation.
Ooh, actually a nice pickup onto the Blaze. Sticking around a little bit too long, but as you're mentioning, the Tracer rounds, just wanting to make sure that are they to go into a lot of those, the Fog of War and also those little brushes, won't be able to get out of line of sight as Shrekker's Love is taking a lot of damage, gets chased down. So nice couple of pickups coming out for the side of Rich Gang, and this is going to be their opportunity to get into it. They almost have enough for the first turn-in of the game. They do have the 50 gems now, but they'll have to get all of those in, and if they are able to get the first turn-in, that'll be massive for them to balloon that or start getting that experience lead in their favor and really start controlling the pace of the game.
Oh, they're in the bottom one now. They are handing in their gems. Juices, unfortunately, in the top was denied. He's got 17 gems, so he's a big fish looking to be fried by the enemy team of Downfall right now. Again, the rotations on Downfall they're just a little bit in front. And this is just giving them just a little bit, a nicer situation trying to protect these points here. Bottom lane, Arthas, however, has done a great job against Sufferfish, pushing out, being one of the stronger lanes on the side of Rich Gang. But GL, they're just all over the place. Again, back to the mid lane, more action. Looked like it was about to go down. FaZe wants to get some action, but so is Juices looking to come in. Tracer caught out, locked down in plate. That's all she wrote, Tracer. Tracer's a great hero, GL, but all it takes is one little bit of lockdown, one little bit of CC, and she's out for the count.
Absolutely. That silence coming in from Flares on the Alarak just completely negating her ability to get out of it. And the follow-up CC was just enough to finish it off. So great kill coming in for the side of Downfall. And this is allowing Downfall to be a little bit more aggressive. And they do manage to get that first turn in, which is massive for them.
Oh, it's so big, and because they're winning in the rotation game as well, they're going to go up the top here. Arthas could be in a lot of trouble here. 4 heroes descend on him. The silence looking arm has gone down, zoning him out of control. Konya leaps over the wall to a little bit of safety as Special does come in, pushes Shrekker's love out. Alarak falls behind us. Next could be Magic Gnome. He will fall too. That is a great situation right now for Rich Gang. It allows them to clean up these web weavers that are harassing each of their lanes right now, keeping 4-man in the top to deal with that top lane. But Juices, it looked like he might have overextended, overvalued his own worth, but he does manage to get away, keeping the advantage in their pocket.
Yeah, the sun in his eyes, he saw the play in his mind, but then realized all he was seeing was the glint of a whole bunch of arrows going straight towards his face and took a lot of damage. But as you mentioned, it was a couple of kills, allowing Rich Gang to clean up a lot of these lanes, mitigating a lot of the pressure coming out from these web weavers. But they do manage to take down a whole bunch of towers, but because of those extra kills coming from the side of Rich Gang, they do have the experience lead.
Yeah, look, they lost out on so much experience Downfall because, like you said, 2 heroes dead. They couldn't really support their web weavers. That's literally given Rich Gang the opportunity to get back into this. Their hunger, their bloodlust for Arthas in the top lane ultimately spelt doom for them. You would think that Downfall were the ones running the Frostmourne.
They really wanted to get that kill, but as you mentioned, it was a little bit too far. They got punished for it. And they're going to get punished even more by it, as we do have a turn-in coming in on the side of Rich Gang. And although the wave clear is still there on the side of Downfall, it's not as clean-cut as, say, a Gul'dan's wave clear. So they have to be...
Not as good.
Yeah.
Situation here. Level 10 has been picked up for Downfall. Behind the web weavers, level 10 has come out now for Rich Gang, so it equalized. I was waiting to see, is Downfall just going to really pressure this and go in hard? They choose not to, don't want to fall. The bunker has been dropped by Blaze, right in the middle of the team fight. Juices is in a bad spot. It doesn't connect, so he's still alive, but Deceptive could be next to fall. Magic Gnome finally taken out by Gul'dan, however. That's a bad situation for the Downfall boys. It looks like their downfall is imminent in this situation. ETC goes in. Mosh Pit comes down. Alarak drops. Entangling Roots drops. They're going nowhere. Konya tries to get to safety. But I'm sorry, those Tracer rounds mean that Tracer can see you over the walls. And you know what? Tracer can arc those bullets up in the air and they can fall right on the tipsy toes of your head. Oh gosh, that's not good for Downfall right now.
Yeah, just losing out time after time, just trying to get these fights to work out, but it's just not really working for them. At every opportunity, they're just getting negated. A brilliant Horrify coming out of Jim Jam on the Gul'dan, just completely splitting up the members of Downfall, allowing the rest of Rich Gang to just pick them apart one by one, and there's not enough. Essentially, once Downfall are unable to get those first kills, the extended fight just isn't really working out for them.
Yeah, they just got no staying power. We saw some great potential early on in the game where they got some really nice kills, but they were all based on that initial burst. It's happening again. The Roots has gone down. FaZe is in a sticky situation. He's been bombed by Tracer and explodes. Magic Gnome's all by himself in a sea of fire that he's created. The fear has come out.
Wow.
In the middle. Tracer again. Are we going to see a third time the charm? Yes, it is. We get the hat trick. Fesh is hat-tricking on Tracer against Downfall right now. With behind this 3 web weavers, 1 in each lane, comes down to scare Little Miss Muffet. away from her lanes.
This is just incredibly powerful response coming out from Rich Gang. They got bullied around in the first game, but this time they are the one calling all of the shots, and there's really not much that Downfall can do right now. They're trying to make these plays happen, but each and every time there's something just blasting them right in response, and it's just not working out for Downfall just yet, as another Postman goes down the Striker's lap. He is forced away, and this is a lot of pressure coming out from Rich Gang.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You know, you've got the Web Weaver itself going in for a kill as well, not wanting to be outdone by Fesh on Tracer. Proves that I too can Hadouken someone into oblivion. That's nice. That's going to be a keep in the top lane right now. That's going to spell disaster for Downfall trying to get back into this game. GL, the bottom lane, even though there's fight still going on, actually reinitiating.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, nice Sulfura Smash comes down. Destruction from the skies. Downfall are not out. Did Rich Gang did they overstay their welcome? Well, Ragnaros thinks they did as he rains fire down from the sky. 2 kills, Gul'dan and Tracer. Even Malfurion could be in a little bit of trouble here. We're waiting for it. Oh, wow. Taken out by Hunt. I didn't even see the auto attack from Hunt just then. And GL, what is this?
This is, as you mentioned, that was an overextension on the side of Rich Gang. They wanted to get that keep down, but the Molten Core coming out of the Ragnaros at the very last second really turned the tide of that, and they are making a case for the comeback here. They are down a couple of levels, but this boss is really going to help out. This is going to equalize this a fair bit, and I don't think it's over just yet. Sure, there was a lot of damage going down to the structures of Downfall, but this is going to be the start of the
this could be a big
potential start of a comeback.
Oh, Tracer does get the kill on Ragnaros. There's actually a back and forth here. The boss pickup was good, but that kill by Fesh on Ragnaros was really good from the side of Rich Gang as well. A little bit of BMing there with the back. That's awesome. You gotta love a little bit of banter from the ANZ region. Everyone just love a little bit of banter. And Fesh lives. That's a story that Fesh gets to tell his grandchildren about the day he single-handedly saved the game for Rich Gang.
Yeah, managed to get the solo kill onto that Ragnaros and also managed to get out of there just scot-free. So nice little pickup there, but didn't really gain all that much. All of the gems were picked up by the rest of Downfall, so they didn't really lose out in that regard. And they also have enough for another turn-in, so if they're able to do so, which it looks like they will be able to, I do believe there it is. And they are actually going to be starting on that mercenary camp just as that is starting, so this is going to be a pretty good push coming out for the side of Downfall, but being down a talent here, they had to be a little bit cautious with how they pressure.
I can't express how important that Ragnaros kill was before. It just stopped any momentum that we saw from Rich Gang behind that boss pickup. That's how important that was, guys. You know, that brought Rich Gang back into this. Yes, they still got to contend with the Web Weavers, but it's not Web Weavers behind the boss, like literally feet behind. It's minutes behind. So they should be able to come down here looking to try and defend this mid fortification. They don't want to go in too deep, however, because they could get taken out. Oh, FaZe is gone up. You will go in. Come at me, bro. Dropped in the telekinesis to bring them closer. The bunker comes out, keeping them alive, and it's going through. See the Web Weaver coming in, wanting to get on the action, dropping some deep. Do go on juices. This is looking like a really nice push here on the side of. Oh, nice capture there by Arthur. Like, this is what we're looking for, right? Those nice big picks up. Juices again. Goes in. FaZe is taking so much damage, Gio. He's been taken out. But on the reverse side, we actually do see ETT fall as well. The Ragnaros has taken over the mid fortification. That's going to back up his team quite nicely into this. Try to go desperately for the Malfurion. Does not connect. Oh, Art Supperfish is my favorite Ragnaros player of all time right now. I love the use right now of Rag in this map.
And it does at least give them a lot of opportunity to pressure down these towers, and we can see the experience has been equalized. Although there is that opportunity for a Rich Gang on that top side of the map, if they're able to get the next fight to go in their favor, that is a win condition that they can go through that top side of the map. But still, Downfall, they're making their way back into it. A great push coming out from them, and using that Ragnaros to just push away the rest of Rich Gang AZ. It looks like they're going to be able to catch out Fairy, as he was a little bit too far forward. Great roots, but it's not going to be enough, as he is going to get taken down.
There was just nothing just then. What a misplay, what a miscommunication or thought. Tracer does get the kill on Hanzo, weakening. any follow-up that we do see coming out. But FaZe also receiving a big corruption to the face. I apologize for Gul'dan, FaZe. That was a lot of damage. That's disgusting.
Yeah, the Gul'dan is fully stacked on those corruptions, so he will be doing a decent amount if the members of Downfall do end up stacking up. And it's just a bit of back and forth at this point. The gems are in favor of Rich Gang, as Deuce is taking so much damage.
So close. That would have been, again, a nice pickup. But without Hanzo there, you can really feel their DPS fall. You know, they can't get those kills that they've been getting basically every other moment in the game. We're at an interesting crossroads right now. A lot of the mercenary camps have been picked up. We see the boss has already been picked up. There's only one left. No one, however, Rich Gang can have a hand in here. So if they can get a hand in right now, this gives them a really good standing for this later half of the game.
Yeah, they do get that hand in. There is a decent amount of wave clear that can deal with those, but we'll just have to wait and see how Rich Gang do end up playing around this. The wave is pushed to the side of Rich Gang on the top half of the map, so they won't be that won't be immediately applying pressure. But it looks like Downfall, they want to make a sneaky play.
I'm waiting to see what goes on here. ETC has been caught. He's in all the silence. He connected. He does the Sulfurous Smash, follows up. A lovely little play here. Magic Gnome is in the thick of it. Drops the bunker, but gets out of dodge as fast as they can. They get stuck in place, however. Magic Gnome will fall behind. It's just too much follow-up damage. It's 4v4 right now with the Web Weavers on the side of Rich Gang. Pushing into this bottom lane. Alarak was captured. Telekinesis away from danger. But can you really say you're out of danger when there's a Web Weaver still there? Ragnaros has to pop the Molten Core now just to defend that bottom lane. Behind this, Rich Gang rotating to the mid lane. Doesn't really have to do anything. The Web Weaver was there the entire time anyway. And we're going to see what was meant to go down in the bot lane happen in the mid lane.
Yeah, this is still a strong push, but taking a lot of damage. And that is actually going to be the Arthas going down. Step too far forward. The amount of wave clear. We saw all of those minions. There was about a dozen there. Immediately wiped out, and all of a sudden the Arthas was the one taking all that aggro and then just got demolished. A little bit too far forward on the side of Rich Gang, and this is given the opportunity over to Downfall to just clean up a lot of those waves. And even though there's a very low top keep, that was able to be defended because of where the lanes were positioned at the start of that Web Weaver phase.
Yeah, the top Web Weaver was real, like a big no-show, no deal in that moment just then. But wow, Rich Gang, Downfall, they're being both given so much, and then just a minor mistake is just setting each team back. Where we see again, we're back to this neutral game. It's still anyone's game here. I can't call it this moment. You know what? I think Downfall, if they keep playing that, let's call it it's capture and destroy, sort of seek and destroy mentality they're playing at the moment, I think they will take this. But I mean, if they do that split thing again and Fesh gets another cheeky kill, I mean, they'll be out for the count.
That's pretty much it. We're looking at Fesh right now because he has been the one to be making a lot of those solo plays, picking off those squishy targets, and even that front line, just dropping those pulse bombs and really just opening up a lot of the plays in for Rich Gang. And yeah, we're looking at him to really open up this map. But if he's not able to get those kills and the whole composition of Downfall is able to really work out, they can start to turn this around as we've been seeing them do so far. But this camp on the bottom side is really going to be putting a lot of pressure, forcing Konya to respond to it. But this is just allowing Rich Gang to start going towards his boss.
Oh, are we seeing a throw pit or a victory soup kitchen? The Dragon Arrow comes in, connects with no one. Ragnaros has caught to defend against this. FaZe taking a lot of damage, however, then Pain Roots doesn't connect. ETC goes in, gets shoved out of the way. Tracer Fesh gets that kill on Alarak nonetheless. Bunker's been up for Blaze. Malfurion has fallen in the back from the Ragnaros Molten Core. Magic Gnome is following up desperately, trying to see if he can get any other sort of victory or death here. Each team getting one solid kill on their opposition, pushing each other out. And we're back to neutral game. Oh no, we're back to another fight, GL! It's now Magic Gnome. Blaze is being punished. He's not quite dead yet. Deceptive is on the chase. Thinks he can get them back to the last second. And jet propulsions to safety.
Oh, this is pretty much on a razor's edge, a lot of these fights. Yes, it was a 1-for-1, but To be honest, I feel as though it was in favor of Downfall. Getting rid of the support makes a lot of those extended fights go in favor of the team that does have the support. But because they were forced back with that additional fight, this is allowing Rich Gang to just go for this boss, and there's really not much response coming out of Downfall.
They just weren't quick enough. They're trying to get in a cheeky hand in. I think they might.
Enough.
Oh, they don't. They're actually only too shy of it. So with the boss here going onto that top keep, I mean that top keep's gone, GL. That's gone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what plan comes out from Downfall. It is gone.
They essentially needed to be defending it as it was spawned, but they are going to be essentially giving this one up. But as long as they are going to be able to hold on to their core, they're still okay, as it does actually get interrupted.
Oh, and ETC goes onto the back as well. Gets trying to obviously interrupts the Ragnaros, gets shoved out of the way by Stukov. Doesn't have that for the rest of the fight, however. The boss is on the core. It should be easy to defend right now. Alrak captured. He does telekinesis out of the way. Gets behind the safety of the invulnerable wall. Goes on to Arthas. No connection, no follow-up damage. Molten Core has been used on the mid.
Oh, look at the...
Oh my god, the damage, Gel! You're 100% right! Look at that. Hanzo's been feared into the back. Can Gul'dan get the kill? No, they've left Konya to try and get back into the game somehow. Arthas has been knocked back. Oh no, the core went down behind it all!
The boss was doing too much. They tried to have the fight behind it, but because they weren't able to get that molten core at the very start, the boss was just going straight onto the core, and they just did not have enough damage to simultaneously deal with the boss and also the fight at the same time. So very well done coming out from Rich Gang, equalizing the series.
Yep. Yeah, that was such a solid damage there by Gul'dan. You know, Jim Jam, I was focusing on the Hanzo Konya. He was so low. I didn't even think, Gul'dan pulled away from him. And I thought, oh, he's not securing the kill on Hanzo. Why isn't he securing the kill on Hanzo? Oh, because there's a big juicy core there.
Yeah,
the victory core.
Eyes on the prize, right? Man. Eyes on the prize.
Well,
the aim of the game is to kill the core, and that's what they did. And we're going to be going to a game 3, it seems.
Yeah, very, very solid. We're going to be very quickly setting that game up right now. But, oh, wow, you got to talk about that game. So it was, you know what, it was a little bit back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same convincing style that we saw from Downfall in Game 1. And to be honest, after Game 1, I was kind of expecting they were going to see a lot of the similar things happening in Game 2. But no, Rich Gang came out, and I think a lot of it was on the back of Fesh on that Tracer. Really opened up a lot of plays and made it very hard for Downfall to get any kind of advantages in these fights, especially when you just consistently having one of those squishy members is targeted by that Tracer, having to focus on different angles in these fights. It just made it very hard for them to really get anything done. And Fesh has to... He gets a lot of credit for how that game went.
Oh, 100%. You've got to give heaps of credit for that. I mean, Downfall's undoing there was those moments being caught out, like you said, GL, and if that hadn't happened, if they stayed more of a group more often, we'd probably be looking at a different story.